אחרונה למצווה סמטה, שולח למעלה. שולח משיח, שלום חסקים, מחול אלבום, סנגלית מחול, יש תסתדר. שולח מיולי, what a special guest today. Especially in May, when someone wants to tell you shalom.
Hello, Shlomi.
Schon jetzt gesehen in Amerika.
Ja, ich habe nicht gesehen.
Was soll ich gesehen? Sie sehen also Zadig. Und dann schon Kedäusche. Ich gehe pusht, das ist
So I can go on.
לינק.
אינכם עוברים כרגע בשידור. בסיום נתקו את הקו.
Shalom Aleichem again. We are here back to the Shiur in English. Today we're going to speak about something, I'm going to say it in English, but Roshi calls it הגנוז, בתוך השפלות. What does הגנוז mean?
Darkness.
Agnos is not darkness.
No,
Agnos is light
darkness.
that Kodesh Baruch Hu concealed from us. The Shaishas Ma'abesh, when he created the world. So he concealed it. Where did he conceal it? In this world. That means when he created the world, he took off a part of his Ein Sof, which is called Kav, and he hid it in the Torah, he hid it in the world. The whole world is created through the Torah. And actually, whatever a person does these days, actually, at the end of the day, he has to reveal the Rabban Shalom that he's the one that's giving life to everything. That is called, you're connecting yourself to the Rabban Shalom through this world, but the world is something materialistic, it's something mundane, as they call it. But we believe, Yeshir came last time. I always come on time for all my planes or my meetings. Never miss the plane. Just starting off that we're going to speak about something that Abusha calls a very nice name. He calls it הגנוז בתוך השפלות, the concealed light that you find places that you didn't dream you're going to find it. One of the worst places we call shiftless is wherever we find ourselves helpless, if we find ourselves helpless, powerless. You like powerless or helpless? Powerless. And what you call it, whatever you want, the Bush is to call it enoish. Enoish, because he created the whole world, but it was not enough. It was Maluchim already, Tzrufim, Chai, Sefan HaKodesh. He made already the Dונולו, the Tzamer, the Chai. He didn't stop. Why didn't you stop? You have everything, you have the whole thing working, everything running around. And they say in the Bronx Zoo, in the 1940s, they wanted to schlep a lot of people come and see it, so they have the most dangerous animal in the world, so people came to see it. You had to go in through one door, another door, till you came into a cage and you had a mirror there. So why did he create this dangerous animal here? What is it for? Because he didn't stop, he kept on going. And the kasha best with the terrorists. So Bush explains, he created us, not Udam, he created us enoish. If we will reveal that we are not more than a behemoth in access of all our needs in this world. And suddenly we see we act like human beings, so then actually that is the biggest happiness that we can give to the Banshlam. Know that I myself wouldn't have what I have, only what the Banshlam gives me. For that, he created the Medaber. The Medaber itself, which is called the human being, was not enough for him. It's a new creation. It starts off by Mitzrayim, the Uris HaGdoshim, which starts off by Avram Avinu and ends by Kabbalas HaTorah. Then, as the Maral says, we finish creating the world, or some say we finish creating the world by the Eigel. Then the whole world, this whole setup is ready now to go. That means what happened by the Eigel actually? By the Eigel, because God created Udam Rishon, and then he made a Chet, and he had Klal Yisrael, and then they made the Eigel. What is that part of the creation? That a person is called the Enosh. Enosh means that all kinds of Enosh, Udam, Ish. Ish is the Anushim Chashuvim, that's Ish. And Enosh, I'm sorry. Enosh, Ish, and what I say, Udam. When there's a person, as more a person calls himself an Enosh, sees himself helpless. In Ivrit they call it Anush, powerless. How do you say it in English?
Okay.
How do you say it in English?
I don't know how to explain it. It's a matzav anosh.
Matzav anosh. No hope.
No hope, right.
So, once you see yourself with no hope and you fill yourself up with hope, that's every
Hopeless.
time. Hopeless. We have already hopeless, powerless, and helpless. Okay. So that's not very understanding aggressive. Hold.
חסר אונים.
Chasar onim. This mein tuz. This is English.
Powerless
This kann nicht Kodesh extras, huh?
powerless is without the koyach to do something. Helpless and the other one also have a tam of already tzibrochimkeit.
Anyways, I didn't learn English so good. My subject of English wasn't too good. Not. Maybe a little exercise also. Anyways, every time I meet myself with a dead end, we'll call it, I meet myself with my chasar onim. There, the whole world is busy these days connecting to themselves. Where they connect to themselves. Some people connect themselves what they do, and they connect themselves to the flower and to the woods. And the bush says everything good, but you didn't connect to yourself. Yourself is the energy that you have. Then you connect to the energy, so you start asking a question. But I'm not. You might say I'm an animal, and I've seen in the past I'm an animal. But right now I'm not an animal. So who is that put me here with that smile and talking? And yesterday I was an animal, and tomorrow I can be an animal again. Then I revealed the Banshlam. For that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Maluchim came along and told the Banshlam, Mu enosh kesiskani, you're messing it up. It's so nice, it's so beautiful. You have Maluchim, Sufim, everybody's doing the way you want to. The Doimim, nobody does the other thing. The Tzemeach, the Chai, everyone's doing the same thing. Nobody, you put in here in the enosh, not who's going to mess it up. When he messes up, the whole creation messes up. So what are you doing? Mu enosh kesiskani. Because Baruch says, yes, I believe in them, and as I said in the past, because Baruch believes in us, that we will recognize him. So this week we have Sfasemes and Pashas V'ayah, a very famous one, a very mind-boggling, they call it in English. It wasn't a word in my days, but anyways, very mind-boggling.
Yiddish means.
Huh?
Yiddish is
Zerfrasket. Marafsen Igre, sagt man bei uns. So here he states something that a person, Tzurch Udam Leider, a person must, in order to be a Udam, from Enosh to Udam, how do you get there? Af be'ez rutzen. when things are going, you're sitting nice here by the shiur, you're not yelling at me, I'm not yelling at you, and a very good mood now, everybody. שיש לו קצת דבקות. עם כל זה, לא ישכח ממנו that every second it can explode. The last year we had it live by the שיעורים. Anytime there was a azaka, people got lost in the middle of the shiur. That means this whole, if something comes up not expected, you're going to lose it. And if your emotions come up, we were speaking out last week, the sensations and emotions come up. Is lama why I'm not there? Be'ezer Hashem is born. That means he put us into Mitzrayim, says the Chaim HaKadosh, into Mem Tes Sharatima, into the lowest of the whole world. Why? Says the Sfasemes in Parshas Boy that every Shivim Amim, usually 7 goes on the midas, on the traits of the person. And 7 times, and each of the 7 has 10, so it's 70. Each of the Amim has a certain midah that's his some steel, some in Neo, some in Rishis. Every Medina has its thing that that's his b'chor, that's what people go there for. They don't have it, huh?
Mumchias.
The mumchias, or mumchias in the kilkul, we call it, right? So there the law doesn't. We have no problem in the law to do what they're doing. That means every Medinas has it. Klal Yisrael, in order to make them Klal Yisrael, we have to get rid of that shoresh, we call it, of that root that Yid has, because he's all comes in the beginning. All the Madabas were one, and now Kodesh Baruch is deciding to take us and making us B'ni B'chori Yisrael. So he says, what does B'chori mean? B'chori means he's my oldest son, and not he's my only son. And Klal Yisrael is Bunim Lamukim. So Bunim Lamukim, in order to get there, you're the first one. I didn't take anyone else before I took Klal Yisrael. I'm not going to take anyone else. Now this means B'chi B'chori, but in order to you to be B'chori, I have to get rid of you, because if you have the B'chor from all the 70 nations, how do I get rid of all the traits that you have, not good traits that you have from all the 70 nations, that you're part of them, and it doesn't go with the mitzvahs together. Because Baruch says the Yishir put us into Mitzrayim, because there's 70 nations with 70 traits. Everyone's his what do you call it? Kilkul, he calls it. And the Mitzrayim, he had, in those days, he was the coil of, there's a prat and there's a cloud. Mitzrayim was the cloud from all the timbers, and everything was in there, all 49. And when the Kodesh Baruch Hu took us out of there, how did he take us out of there? He makas b'choyres. He just made that that the Mitzrayim cannot hold a lip on you. And then automatically you were able to run out. But as long as I have a grip on you, you can't get out. It brings a Zohar. Zohar says, man, anyone that is under a grip of someone else, he cannot become all Malchus Shemayim, because the whole all that he has is on something else. So what was Yetzias Mitzrayim? Yetzias Mitzrayim was 2 phases. Phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1 is take you out of labor. But that Akata, was still everybody busy with his Meitzarim. Everybody's still busy with his labor, but not in a way that was a Mitzrayim. But the main Yetzias Mitzrayim was, he cut off the B'chori. I mean, the Yid, as far he may go, he shouldn't go, but as far as he went, and he came there, he can go to Thailand, he can go do whatever wants. At the end of the day, he won't find himself there. Why? Because I cut off that faucet from you, from B'chor, which you felt yourself comfortable in France, you felt yourself comfortable in America, you felt yourself comfortable wherever you are. Always, when you come to that shoyish of that imah, It's not in you. Why? Because you are the source of the sources, and it'll never give you calmness. You never find your place. Wherever they're going to be, they always find themselves ger. You may act like them, talk like them, do at the end. Connected to yourself is, if you want to connect yourself, you must get to the biggest dream that you might get already, and you got there, and you see it doesn't help you. That's where you chop yourself. Actually, it's not for me. So the Pshim days, we didn't have what we have today, Baruch Hashem. And I think we didn't go. Our children have things that we didn't have in those days. But the because Baruch had to bring Mashiach by the Pshim B'Rechui. But the Pshim B'Rechui says no. Everybody has his well that he has to open up. What is a well? A well is deep in the earth, and we have to bring out what that well is. All that Pshim B'Rechui did, he gave something new, which the Chassidus does. He gave you something new how to work with. That even though it's a lot of dust, even though there's a lot hidden in there, but if you believe that at the end of the day there is something that you cannot reach, which any guy will tell you can reach it, but you cannot reach it. Why? Because the Rebbeinu Shalom's ain't a goof, ain't a mesiga goof. You're part of that. Is that part will always be there? Kol doidi doifik pischri. It'll always be something knocking me. I don't find myself. So why wait all the way to the end? Says the Svasemis. Because Baruch Hu brought you into 49 already, and you saw that you can't get to 50. Why? Not that you can't get to 50. Because I opened up all the 49, and I gave you to be B'ni B'chol Yisur, and I gave you the Torah, says Xayim. Now you can go into 52. I have no problem with it. Why? Because 50 will not fulfill you. Nothing will fulfill you. But as long as the 50 what the Goyim they held, every Goy had his 50 that kept you by him. Today the 50 is the Torah, and I should say you are part of the Torah. So anything where you go, you'll always find yourself Reshuim, Malayim, Charutis, says the Gemara. Whereas Malayim Charutis, he doesn't find himself. That means a person can have everything, you say, and has nothing. He has nothing, can have everything. That means actually it's not the quality. It's not the quantity. It's the quality. Once a person has quality, he'll always find himself connected, and he's connected. Once a person doesn't have quality, then it doesn't have quality. He might have a lot of quantity, but he's all running around. Says the Svasemis. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises us, Vidatem kani Hashem. It's a promise, we say this. We say, V'tzeisi, V'tzalti, V'ga'alti, V'lakachti, Vidatem. What does Vidatem mean? Okay, you took us out, Tzalti, you rescued us, and you did everything already, V'lakachti, Eschem li la'om, and I raise, I'll bring you to Eretz Yisrael, so you have everything already. What is Vidatem? Vidatem, I promise you that even though I took you out of Mitzrayim, and you'll still be in a physical matziv, that you can't find yourself, you're all tied up. But you'll always know that end, Kani Hashem Alekaichem, that will never be tied up. That will always be free for you to get it. That means Yitzias Mitzrayim, the main point of Yitzias Mitzrayim was only the part of the Rutzen, of your will, that up there, there's a certain minute that when that opens up, you're ready to throw everything away. So the Balatanya explains it when I go wants to take away from me the Yiddishkeit, so we're ready to Moitze Nefesh. But the more we are connected to the Torah, so the more we build up our willpower to get to that connection. Automatically says the Moshe, Ein hafa'ah chitzonit. Nothing outside can stop me. Why? Because everything is a chitzonius, and every chitzonius has a pnimius. Every outer has a pnimius, and once the pnimius we have is much stronger than the chitzonius, it made us just a question: how much willpower do I have to live with that pnimius or not? So how do you bring a person to live with pnimius, not with chitzonius? He shouldn't find himself. So, his wife, his children, for his panusa. was sitting in Bet Shemesh this Shabbos. You must have heard, you must have felt it, no?
Felt it.
So some guys came up there, and they were sitting there, and I was talking. At the end they told me, how can we be connected with the Rebbe? So to tell your wife to chase your children to make it trouble, and don't worry, you'll be connected. You'll find you. So it means that the Gedanke is here, that actually every time that something comes up, you can put out the fire very easily when you know that this is, the Busha calls it's not a metziut, because your metziut is enosh. Why you get nervous? Because you see yourself suddenly in an enosh. But that is your metzius. You just talked yourself into that you're not an enosh anymore. Is a mele that every time you're losing something, you get lost. But if you know that it's just help me to enosh, and if you want to be udam, it's only when you're connected to me, then you'll be udam. So I'm helping you in this mode to be udam dafke through the enosh.
It's like a losing battle before you get started. Almost.
He's helping you win.
You're always winning.
It's just
Always
You're
winning.
always losing, and that's the right.
So the question is, what do you want to win?
if there's nothing to lose, then it's not losing. It's
Right, that's right.
You're already,
It's all
okay,
lost.
Say that. It's already out of my hands.
But he created you lost, and he wants you to win. That's I think we spoke about it last week, and we'll say it again. There's a pasuk that says, "In tachapsenu kakesef, kazuf tachpesenu." Says the Rabbinim says, what does tavakshenu mean, bikush, and what does tachpesenu mean? Both of you looking for something. There's two types of people that look for something. I had something and I lost it. Or I don't have anything. People go out looking for metzias, you call it these days. A person goes out looking for metzias. He found it, didn't find it. But a person had something and he's all upset. Then it goes the opposite way around. So if you lost something and you found it, oh Hashem, oh yeah, I had it. I'm so happy. But something that you didn't look for, and you find it, the person's very happy. In Avodas Hashem, we were part of Ein Sof. We lost it. Why not only lost it, we lost it big time, as you say. He put us down here, as I said at the Bronx, to the dangerous avenue that can be in the world. Every time when you could have been a malach, you could have been asur, you could have been doim, you could have been tzumeh, chai, but that reminded you're all the way down. Every time a person does progress, not only does progress to the next level, but he's even doing more progress than a malach in that minute. That means you also lost something and you're gaining it back every time. And you're gaining back, but you have to be happy because you are now gaining much more than you were if you would be a malach. That means a malach cannot do that work that you're doing, because a malach doesn't have das to know that he's a malach, and whatever he has is not his, because it's an instinct, as we spoke last week. It's more sensations, as we spoke. The only one that has a sensation can mess him up and come to thoughts and come to emotions is the human being. And once we come into emotions, and we don't let ourselves come to emotions, so that workout that we do, and it's a workout just like in every exercise, the more you work it out, the more you're flink, the more you can move yourself. So that, and a malach can never do that. We'll come to such a matzah that these days we ask a malach what's up, what's news up there. In those days, the malach will ask us what's news those days. And so the Magen Mezich said, a king that becomes king usually gives presents to everybody that helped him make a king. But one present you can't give him, you can't make him king, only one king. And Baruch Hashem just works the other way around. That you make him king, be meluchim yimloich. I'm ready to give tzaddik, tzaddik Baruch Hu goyze, and tzaddik meradl, tzaddik goyze, Kodesh Baruch Hu mekayim. And we'll let you run that. That means you're going to be, not only you're going to find what you lost, you're getting in much more than you had before. So it brings a very nice motion last week. It's called the That's just add on. We find the Torah says ve'ele shmois b'nei Yisrael. Someone says, what does ve'ele mean? We always know ele means puslas hashonim, and ve'ele is moisar hashonim. Puslas hashonim means that we became less. Moisar hashonim became more. The shmois b'nei Yisrael, the names of Klal Yisrael, were much more when they were around Avram, Yitzchak, and Yankov, the Shifte Kor, than it was a Mitzrayim that went all the way down to Memta Sharadim. So what was added on here? So he says, no. That's what we're saying now. Once you went out of Mitzrayim, you gained access to the Shara Hanian, which nobody was able to gain access till you came around. Right, it's a procedure that you have to go through in order to get there. But once you get there, the name that starts, that's a whole Parashat Shmos is much more at the end of the day, after Yetzias Mitzrayim, than the names before. And a very nice motion. A king has a daughter, and he's looking for a shidduch. And as we all know, we're doing shadichim etzes, if you're not doing it yet. No, the biggest problem is the first one, the second you decide, and once you have a whole bunch of children, then daddy don't do this and daddy don't do that. You must have did it in the past to your parents. That means he has a problem to decide. The king has a daughter and he has a lot of children, boys out there, and how do I do a shidduch? And he has someone that he wants, and he knows God's good, wants to bring up that name, nothing doing. I'm a dead body, they say. So the king decides to hide it. He's not gonna reveal it to anybody. So he took his daughter, took away to a certain place, and he took this friend of his that he decided is for his own. He didn't want to tell him because a secret from two is already a sodish of a ganz broad. If you tell a secret to somebody, there's no secrets these days. So he just told him one day, listen, I want to go for a trip with you. So he decides to go, but he's in the middle of work. I can't do that. Tomorrow, the Rebbe decides at 8 o'clock a share. How am I going to get there? That means, but he goes. That means when he's going, he's feeling he's losing. But what? He relies on the king, that the king never futched, as we call it, never let him down. So the same thing every time when I come to such a matzav, that I feel that I'm losing, and if you believe that Rebbe is the one that's running it, he's not losing, he wants to give you, but the way to give it to you, he wants to be sure that you want it. And how do I assure you want it if you rely upon me? Because what is the Kush Baruch Hu giving you? He's giving you himself. But I can only give myself over to you if I know that you rely upon me, even though it works the other way around. He says in the Pusik, which you remember a little better, he says it's all Hashemayim, a mile up there. Vayelech. You einigen?
No, I just like that topic.
Okay. Vayelech ish mi beis Levi, vayikach is bas Levi, last week. It says the Mushal there, vayelech ish. When a person goes and he thinks he's going away mi beis Levi, he's disconnecting. Levi means from connection. He's disconnecting from himself. You should know, no, vayikach is bas Levi. You're going to be connected even more. So it's oilam hofach reisi, says the Gemara. I got there and I saw altogether another world which I didn't know. So it says, it brings down from the Shiurim. The Shiurim says, Im hoyu udam yedea. For a human being will know. Shahakl ma Hashem Yisborach, lehoyu mastir lo klal. But why do I hide it? Because if I wouldn't hide it, you'll think, oh, that's how. Sudden, it comes, everything sudden, and comes just the opposite way that you thought it was. She's ready to fall, and the Kush Baruch Hu is keeping it. That's what we say in the Haguda. You have to remember Yetzias Mitzrayim, Kol Yemei Chayechu. Not only the days that you're not living, the days that you're living, even in Moisam Mashiach, you'll always have to remember, because I created the world for one reason. You're an enosh, and remember, if you're not an enosh, I'm keeping you. These days it's hard because we have all kinds of blemishes, clippers they call it, that doesn't let us get there. Automatically then it will come out. Questions?
Automatically, but then we'll know that we're an enosh and we're helpless and
So
powerless.
kovel nafshi geula, the way that we get out is only, 1 second, the way that you're able to what'd you say?
So, let's just continue with Rebbe's thoughts. He's saying is by we should love it. Well, not like things won't be any problems, but by then we'll actually know that the
Actually
Eibishter is
know
in control and
that's,
we're not in his way.
Exactly. We don't have the strongest nights. It's going shoveling this week. The Adam is very busy with that. So it was busy all year with shoveling. What does shoveling mean? You have to know you're shovav. You say shabab in English?
Troublemaker.
Like nowadays it's a hippie, right? Every day it's every time something else. It changes the name. But every shovav is actually, that is the thing that you know that you're a shovav. You used to call it, the Ari calls it malchischu, malchis kol olamim, the Buddha Melech says. What does that mean? We know that the Kodesh Baruch Hu brought down from the Ein Sof, as we said, he created the world. So there's a whole way how he got down. Chesed, Gvira, Tferes, Netzachot, Yesod. From after Yesod starts Malchus. Malchus, that's when it reveals the materialism, the mundane, the chomius. That means when the Kodesh Baruch Hu created the world, Ein Melech Beloi Am, he wanted to be Melech. He didn't look to be Melech on the Maluchim. He didn't look to be Melech on the Doinam, on the Tzemach, on the Chai. He wants to be Melech on the Medaber, and on the Yid is the one that has to. That's where we start off our davening every day. Mu'uni, mechayaynim, mechazdaynim, matzit, kasaynim, ayishishaynim. You have to go over every time, otherwise it's waste your time with davening. But we usually skip it, but start saying it. Once there was a tefillah, that means, but actually the tefillah is the preparation to first, who am I? Then, if I know who I am, so I know what I'm here for, to connect myself to the Bunshlam in order to be one. So it says, he says, because it comes all the way down to Malchus. Malchus has to be connected to Yesod. Yesod means the lowest part, which the power, the koyach that Kodesh Baruch Hu says is still invisible. It's still in a quality. It's not in a quantity. It's still the Yesod. Once it leaves the Yesod, then it has to go straight into Malchus, and not once a person lives all the time that he has something, as I said last week, something trigger of a emotional, a feeling, has a feeling of a sensation, and he doesn't give it back to the malchischu, that's when he loses it. We call it these days a trigger. The trigger happens when I don't give the connection of the malchis, comes from malchischu. Malchischu, malchis koelon. That means there has to be a chibur from Yesod the malchis, we call it in Kabbalah.
The frat with the Iruah, you take it straight back to the Eibishter.
The frat is called Iruah, that is a tchusha, that is the sensation. Instead of giving perush, regish, tguva, but when it's the Iruah, when it happens of that sensation, you give it right back. But why? Because Netzach Yisroel lo yishaka. We're the only ones that can do that. Nobody can do that.
It's against all therapists, and they all say you've got to tap into the emotions and feelings. Let's ask Shia what he thinks.
Who's Shia?
That's the...
Shia lo is Dr. Shia.
That's not with the natural stuff. The natural stuff is like this.
He's laughing. What can I do? Ich mach ihm kalle die ganze Panusse. Don't worry. People come to you more than they come to me. I have two things. I don't take money, and I don't have to be matzliach. The one has to, you have to make the money, you have to be matzliach.
The the Rebbe said in the Kudish Or, he mentioned David HaMelech, that he said, Libi Halal B'Kirbi.
That's when he fell. Busha
That's when he
talks
fell.
about a lot about that.
So it seems that David HaMelech
There was no other way he should come to Shleimus only. That's called Or HaGanuz. That's what it started off. Or HaGanuz betוך השפלות. There's no other way to come to that Or HaGanuz, only through the shiftless, but not be a shiftless bepoil. Lemaisa, it's enough that you know that you're in shiftless, and you don't run away, you don't deny it, you don't blame, you're not busy with all of that. Then, why am I not in the shiftless? I give it back. Who opened it up first? David HaMelech opened it up. Klal will open it up first by the Eigen. David HaMelech opened it up by his falling, and David HaMelech opened it up by his falling. The Bush used to say, after he ate from the Etz Hadas, the Baruch asked him, "Did you eat from the fruit that I told you not to eat?" So he answered, "Yes." Not yes. Uchalti v'oichelot, says the Medrash. What is uchalti v'oichelot? Now I thought that I'll never eat it. Now I know not only that I ate it, I will keep on eating it. But if your manager calls you and did you do that mess, and you're going to say, "Yes, I did it, I'm going to keep on doing it," and throw you out. But the Rebbe Shalom wants to hear that, then in order to, you should be even more connected.
But the difference with
So
someone
usually I
that's...
finish off my shiur and ask forgiveness to people. Usually when I talk, it's not so pleasant to hear me. At the end, it's when it works out, it's very good. But until it works out, so you don't know what's coming up. And if your wife hears it, I hope it's kind of chmonis of it. If your children hear it. But as I say, that I'm asking Mechila if I did something wrong, but I don't promise you I won't do it again. Any questions?
Rebbe mentioned about something that we lost and we're trying to get back to it, right? So, but I think what
A child gets born, that's what he cries. Because he had a mother teaching him everything. And he comes out, he's crying.
right. But the Rebbe said that we're part of the Ein Sof. So I think every time we gain, we have a little win. Our loss technically becomes bigger and bigger
No.
because our Ein Sof is so much more Ein Sof.
Okay, so if you're looking at the goal, you till now you thought you have a stake and that you get your goal. Once you start going to the Baruch Shalom, so that you see that Eine Musag is something more than the Musag as we call it. The mundane cannot give you what the Kodesh gives you, but the Kodesh keeps on going. That means because at the end of the day, if you understand it already, then there's always behind what you understand a new not understanding, which will connect you much higher.
Right, so the Kodesh keeps on becoming bigger and bigger.
Okay, so
which
that be
becomes
lucid.
an aggressive
But
life,
right now, but the beginning scares you away. Well, Habula time the sign, once a person starts that procedure and he sees it gives him a certain calmness, he doesn't explain what it is. We said it gives him a certain takes down the flames when I'm disappointed and I'm ready to tune myself in again after I fell through. So I see something's working here. That is something that I have to work up. That's the thing. Udam didn't bekisoi bekoise bekase. If we did progress or not, the question is when you have to spend something or someone gets you angry, or you sit down by the table and eat, and if you can control yourself.
Rebbe.
Yeah, ask you.
Hi, Rebbe. I have a question. How do you know that Hashem? How do you know Hashem is happy with you? Like in the olden days, we went the Nevi'im. You know, our Avos spoke directly with Hashem, but for us,
are you happy now? You heard the share.
Am I happy? Yes.
The voice is happy. He gives you the simcha. Simcha. The only place where is simcha is always. The only place a person we say by davening every morning. Always v'chedvu bim koim moi. Always is stronghold, and chedvu is simcha. The only place where is totally strongness and simcha is when I'm connected to Him. So these days people don't connect, so they have all kinds of ways to manipulate themselves to be simcha and put on all kinds of comedies and all kinds of music that gets them moving. But at the end of the day, when you shut off the music and you shut off the comedy, he's back to the old one. Here, by giving you something, that you work with it all the time, and you come to Shavis Hashem, that's where you suddenly get koiches to go on, and you get simcha that you're not on your own.
And then you know that
that's what he said. That's what he's saying. Every time a person, the Sfasema says, why did he took it into Memta Shara to know this is our Metzias of English. We have everything from all the nations in external, we can get there. That's why he created the world. The whole nafkamina from a Yid is that Vidatem Kani Hashem HaMoitzi. I gave you the source that once you connect, you use that Memta Sharatim in order to connect to me, is B'ni B'choy Yisrael. That's the whole Makkah's B'choyes that we're busy about. We didn't get out of Mitzrayim as long as that. They weren't working already the last 2 years, but we're still in Mitzrayim. Why? Because the B'choy Pari was still sitting there. But once you took out that B'choy Pari, so now even though I'm working, but I have the essential to work with my hands, but my mind can be freed. Why? Because I don't relate to the outside, to the chitzonius. I only relate to the pneumius. Anything else? Shalom, how are you?
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Thank you very much.
We try our best. Maybe you know that is Adam.
Yeah.
Velva Bochner is giving you regards, and Sucharef is giving you regards. We haven't met yet. We got a day there. Called the Yom, was this still the Voilhand, episode der Ältere?
Was?
Du bist ja so Voilhand, sitzt still.
Bin ich Voilhand? Bin ich in der besten Mut?
Aber das ist mir Pegest nicht an. Das ist schon bei. Koltiv Gilad. Happy to see you. Feel okay? Koltiv.
Oh, thank you.
Hope to see you next week again. Koltiv. See you.
Schkoyach, Rebbe. Schkoyach.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.